he should come back. I mean, I love how. I mean, he shouldn't come back just at the like sacrifice. Let's put him in because he was in it. But you know, let's make him fit. I'm ecstatic. I really don't care about the cast. I do agree with you. I like how they are famous to a certain degree. Like, you can go find their stuff and check them out. But, like, they're not like, oh, my God, look at this. Kevin Costner's in Star Wars. You know?
No, I feel like it's the original movies with the fairly unknown actors that will give them a chance to really shine here.
Right. There's no real, I guess there's no pressure. Like, they're not going to get the geek rants of, you know, this person doesn't feel right for this role because their face really isn't known.
Right. But well, that and they're going to be whole new characters anyway.
Right.
So we don't even know what they're playing.
And that segues into why I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be so happy to see a Star Wars movie now that's created in my time frame that I get to see with no worries about, well, I know they live because that's Darth Vader's kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, also, it's nice that Lucas is hands off on this because that dude is batshit insane.
I didn't want to throw that in there, but yeah.
No, I will throw that in there. He is... Like, I've read 2 different articles now on, the first one I read was on when LucasArts, the game studio, closed. Mm-hmm. I read through that, and, like, all these developers and stuff would be working on things, and then George walks in, and he's like, no, I want it this way. Like, some totally weird, random, and then him picking names for stuff, that dude should just be in a nursing home at this point, because he is clearly suffering from dementia. And then I was reading the article on the never gonna happen Darth Maul game, and
I read that too. Did we talk about that yet?
I don't think so.
No, I think I talked about it with somebody. What I thought was funny is they're canceling this game when obviously they should not cancel this game.
Well, it's been long since canceled, yeah.
Right.
So,
but the miscommunication between this team that's making this game. LucasArts.
Well, there was just no communication. Period. That was the problem. Like, they just started making stuff, not hearing anything from them. Then they finally sit down and have a meeting with George Lucas, and he's like, "Let's put Darth Maul."
No. You have to back it up. They were told rules in order to talk to George Lucas.
Yeah. That was the best part. No mentioning of the Force Unleashed or Starkiller.
And don't tell George Lucas how the Force works.
Right, and you also can't say the word no around George Lucas.
Right, like.
Yeah.
Alright, dude, I get it. You created one of the greatest franchises of our time. Love it.
But you also ran it into the ground.
Right. Which is why you sold it to Disney because you got tired of hearing from us because you were destroying your baby. And it's kind of like with Victor had this conversation with me, or Victor helped me to realize that I can't do everything myself. Like, I can draw really well, and I came up with a real good idea for Hot Shot. But I can't write to save my life. Like, I'll plot the hell out of a story for you, boy. I will give you one mean-ass plot. But when it comes to, like, adding, you know, like, making a living, breathing character, like they have the essence, I can't do that. This is where Victor comes in. I don't ink as well as Gary Mitchell, who inks all my stuff now. You know, there's a team. You have to be able to learn to pass the buck off to somebody else. Like, hey, you do this better than me. Let's create one killer project. But I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed for the Star Wars. Super excited for it. I think.
Like I said, biggest perk for me is Lucas is in a very hands-off situation about this.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
The downside, though, is the EU, the expanded universe via books, is now being totally redone because movie canon will always trump book canon,
right?
And they're not following any of the established canon lines from the books.
And since we're on the topic of Star Wars, did you get to happen to see this video of Harry Potter versus the Star Wars kid?
No.
I think it's pretty awesome. And if they can make a movie like this, a little movie like this, Star Wars cannot be bad. Please don't make Star Wars bad when they make this. So, Harry Potter lives with a bunch of college kids, and he's tired of using his cell phone and eating up his battery. So he's finally had enough, and he pulls out the wand. This kid's like, F you, Harry. He pulls out a lightsaber. The other two roommates are humming the Star Wars song.
Yeah, the Duel of the Fates.
Yeah. I mean, this fight scene is pretty thorough that they're about to have here. Like, they F up their apartment for this movie. Yes, the sword of Gryffindor was just pulled. And doesn't stand a chance.
I was like, thank God. I was like, a lightsaber cuts through anything. Don't tell me.
Hey, Harry's got some moves, though. This thing is very entertaining. Harry just went to a table. He tried to get on his broom to escape, but he threw a lightsaber at it. Now he's shooting phaser guns at him. Harry's using his wand, Levioso. I mean, they're putting everything in this. I mean, they're going at it. It's pretty action-packed. The guy just jumped on the roof with the lightsaber. He's running, chasing down Harry. Harry's blasting doors open, trying to get free. Oh! He just threw the lightsaber at Harry. Don't know what happened. They're in Middle Street fighting right now. They're getting pretty bloody in this fight, too.
Why do we call him Luke when he looks so much like Hayden Christensen?
He does. He does. It looks like Harry lost the Battle of the Dark Side fight.
You are the chosen one! They were sent you to destroy the Sith, not join them! What the fuck are you talking
I think the two roommates were the funniest ones in the trailer. Harry lost the battle, and the kid yells Gandalf.
Yeah, basically the scene in The Mines of Moria where Frodo's having to be drug out of there because Gandalf fell. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so that, like, when I saw this this little 3-minute movie, I'm like, people are making like funny, awesome movies at home. Why is it so hard for a production company to make a good movie with money? So, really hoping Star Wars is good. I trust J.J.
Well, I was
Abrams.
going to say, between J.J. Abrams and it being owned by Disney, I'm not worried. And
Not
just-
concerned?
Nope.
Well, see, I'm not worried about the Disney aspect because Disney's so creative. So I'm like, that's magic in a bottle right there. So we're going to get some fantastic stuff. But, so moving on to movie news here, we got Warner Brothers is supposedly developing 9 new DC movies. So, my question to you, Will, is what 9 franchises from DC would you like to see as movies?
Well, a lot of the Justice League, obviously, should be the easy ones. We already got Superman and Batman coming up. Woman could use her own movie. How many is that right there? Like, what, 5?
Yeah.
God, who
I'm in agreement with you so far.
Who would I go to for the other 4?
I would say, I think you need a Green Lantern movie, but then you need a Green Lantern corps movie.
Depends on how well the Green Lantern movie done. And if they do one, I'd also like to see Jon Stewart as Green Lantern too,
Right.
because he's my favorite.
But listen, look where I'm going with it. Because I think that's wrong with Green Lantern, the movie is that, and I'm not a real big Green Lantern fan. I mean, I love him, I like him, but I don't read the books, so I don't know a whole lot of them. So someone had to educate me. Apparently, when Green Lantern first came out in the comic book, that book went on for like 10 years, and you didn't even know there was a Green Lantern Corps. Like, you didn't even know they existed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. We do a Green Lantern movie that exists in the hold of just on Earth. This ring crash lands, you get it, and he's a hero on Earth. But you do a Green Lantern Corps movie that's separated, that fills in the gaps and gives you all these extra characters for them eventually coming together by like the 2nd or 3rd installment. So, because I didn't like how they tried to fit Sinestro in there, turning him into a bad guy so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to, I don't even remember what the main villain was, his name in that movie.
I don't remember. Is that big eating?
We'll call him
boy?
Black Mist with face.
Yeah.
But like, all this stuff can be introduced between those two movies in like 4 or 5 films. That way you'll get that whole Green Lantern Corps. So you do Green Lantern 1 where he saves the Earth, does that, joins up with the Justice League or whatnot, and then you get the Green Lantern Corps on the other side, and something's coming, like that Black Mist face guy is coming, and by like the second or third movie that they do, it's another Justice League story. This is how they start to develop that universe.
Do you feel like Hawkman or